Okay, the video was broken. So Indians were forced to believe that the Western culture, Western language, Western dress code, Western religion is the real civilization, and what we follow, what Indians follow, is wrong civilization. And the Indians were forced to believe this wrong statement, false statement, and how they implemented this wrong and false statement into Indian mind. Okay, what are the techniques that they made to implement this one, and to implement this false statement, this wrong statement, and treating their own mother tongue, their own culture as inferior to Western one. How they implemented it is by English Christian education. Christianized the English education system. They implemented this one. Okay, so this is the first method they made, and the next one is the next method is whenever they have the opportunity in the education system, in wherever they talk, they communicate, they projected Europe as the enlightened one. Okay, each culture has their own flaws. Okay, in Christianity also, in Europe also, there was male chauvinism. Okay, and that is the reality. And discrimination, class discrimination, rich and poor was there, even in European civilization, that is Western civilization. Okay, in there were superstitious belief in Western culture also, and that is the real. Superstitious were there, male chauvinism was there, discrimination was there, everything was there, even in Western culture also. It is there in India also, in African, and for all the cultures, these kinds of injustice prevailed, social evils prevailed in all the cultures, and that is the reality. But they simply masked up, they simply covered up those their own superstitious belief and drawbacks in their culture. They simply covered up, and they projected Europe, that is Western culture, as enlightened one or superior one, and they projected Indian culture as you have lots of superstitious belief, you have male chauvinism and all those rubbish belief you have. Therefore, your culture is, your religion is inferior one, and powers Western is a great one. That's how they projected. Okay, so this is the second method they followed to implement, to colonize our mind. Okay, that is the second point. To say it in short, they simply projected the positive aspects of the Western culture to India, and they projected India's negative aspects in a brighter way, and that's how they made to think, they forced us to think that Western culture is a great one. Okay, and there were, unanimously all the British people who came to India had this thought, and they implemented their thought in our mind. And there are some exceptions like Annie Besant, Jones William Bentinck. There are some exceptions, but they were not. They did not rule India. They simply came and they simply reformed India. That's all. Okay, but they never. They were not part of ruling class. Annie Besant was not part of ruling class in India. Okay, so almost everybody, all the people simply had this thought, all the British people had this thought, and they simply implemented this thought. Okay, and Macaulay's Minutes is said to be the most important one. Macaulay only implemented this Western type of education, and even now we are following his system of education. when he implemented his system of education, in the minutes, in the statement that he made, in the statement that he read out, he said that Indian culture has several errors. There are many several errors in Indian culture, Indian language, in Indian system of education. And they had superstitious beliefs, and all the Indian is wrong. They have wrong ideas. Okay, and when Macaulay believed, when Macaulay made this statement, all Indians innocently believed Macaulay's false statement. Okay, so when they innocently, Muslim also ruled India, and they also at that point also they lost their political freedom, and now they are unable to. They were not in a position to project themselves as great and project themselves confidently. Okay, they simply innocently believed Macaulay's false statement, the British people's false statement. Okay, and British also followed divide and rule policy. Okay, divide them on the basis of caste, religion, and language. Likewise, divide them, and then we will easily be able to rule India. So this is the system they followed, and because of that, Indians themselves fought among themselves. Indians fought among themselves because of this policy. Okay, so in the clash of two civilizations, Europe and Indian civilization, India simply yielded. In the clash between Indian culture and Western culture, India simply yielded to Western culture, and Western culture was young, dynamic, and hungry for knowledge. But Indians is half. They were not. Already they had half knowledge, and they want to. Actually, the Indians were in a position to rediscover themselves. And they were not given chance or opportunity to rediscover themselves. They themselves thought that we don't have knowledge, we have only half knowledge. Okay, so thus India were colonized. Indian mind were colonized by the British people. And Lord Macaulay, when he was writing a personal letter to his father, in that letter he said that I am going to introduce an education system in India, and when they follow the education system, definitely all the Indians will think that the Western culture is a superior one, and all the Indians will follow Western culture. And that is my aim, and that will be implemented very soon. But there is a problem. Even if I am able to implement Western culture, Western education and culture, the Indians live in heart, they don't live in mind. Okay, I again repeat, you have to write it. Macaulay, in his letter to his father, he wrote the first point is that I am going to introduce an education system by which all Indians will believe that Western culture is superior one, but there is a problem in implementing that. That is, this is the most important statement. Indians live in heart than mind. Okay, since Indians live in heart than mind, it is not that easy to convert them to follow Western culture and to enforce Western culture to them, and partially we can convert them to Western culture. And that is a statement made by Macaulay in his personal letter to his father. Okay, and Swami Vivekananda also said that though India got political independence, their mind is still enslaved, and the so-called elite people believe that Western culture is superior one, and it is our responsibility, Vivekananda and all should hypnotize them. Okay, dehypnotize themselves. British people, they hypnotize Indians, and it is our responsibility, Indians' responsibility to de-hypnotize. Okay, let me stop here. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.